It's Wednesday, March 1st, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including dramatic dash cam video of the rescue of a suicidal man on a Connecticut bridge, questions about the future of Bridgeport's ballpark at Harbor Yard, and much more. Frank Garrido has a look at the forecast and later on some exciting highlights from boys basketball semifinals last night in his Nutmeg Sports Update. And Donald Eng will join us later to take a look back on this day in history. But first, dramatic dash cam footage has been released of a state trooper stopping a suicidal man from jumping off of the Q Bridge in New Haven last Thursday evening. Take a look. This happened around 5:30 when troopers from Troop G in Bridgeport responded to I-95 southbound in New Haven for a male threatening to jump off the bridge. Troopers arrived on scene and found the male on the opposite side of a safety wall and barrier. Troopers tried to talk him to safety, however, the male refused and moved closer to the edge in an attempt to jump. Now what you're seeing there is Trooper First Class Aaron Matthew ran towards the man, jumped over the wall and grabbed him, preventing him from jumping off of the bridge. The trooper then held the man against the bridge with no barrier between him and the edge, so other troopers as well as New Haven police officers and firefighters could pull the man over the wall to safety. Now state police urge anyone experiencing suicidal thoughts to call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. You can reach them at 1-800-273-TALK. It provides a 24/7 toll-free hotline available to anyone in crisis or emotional distress. It'll also route you to local services, but you can get more information on that on the Connecticut State Police Facebook page. And Hearst, Connecticut media reports that a former gymnastics coach has been charged with smuggling narcotics into the Bridgeport Correctional Center. Police said Greer Lynn Mann pasted strips of Suboxone, a powerful opioid, under the stamps that she put on envelopes she mailed to an inmate serving time with her boyfriend at the prison. 36-year-old man of Ellsworth Street in Bridgeport was charged with unauthorized delivery of contraband to an inmate. She was released after posting a $1,000 bond. Mann has worked as a gymnastics coach for children in the area, according to the Connecticut Post. State police said they were recently notified by officers at the Bridgeport prison that two inmates, Shane Krall and Justin Sparkman, had been receiving Suboxone through the mail. Officers said they had intercepted a letter addressed to Krall from Mann, who is Sparkman's girlfriend. Underneath the stamps on the envelope, they found two Suboxone strips. And in other news, a close encounter between a coyote and a dog in New Canaan on Tuesday has led to the chief of police to warn residents that all dogs should be supervised at all times and any food sources, such as bird feeders and pet food, be contained and controlled. According to New Canaan Police Chief Leon Krolakowski, the encounter between the coyote and the medium-sized dog occurred at about 6:45 in the morning on Autumn Lane, which is a relatively dense residential area. The owner was with the dog at the time and successfully frightened away the coyote. Krolakowski said that coyotes are active in this area and they are not nocturnal. In Weston last week, a dog was attacked and injured by a coyote. For more information about coyote hazing and hazing kits, you can contact New Canaan Animal Control at 203-594-3510. And a legal notice is putting the future of the Bridgeport ballpark at Harbor Yard in question. Hearst, Connecticut that a legal notice in the Connecticut Post reads, "Wanted proposals for professional sports team operator or an outdoor entertainment venue for the ballpark. The party that is awarded the contract must begin operations by July 2018. The notice comes after the Bridgeport City Council approved a one-year contract extension for the Bridgeport Bluefish to allow the baseball team to play its 20th season in the Park City Ballpark. The first home game in Bridgeport in the 5,300-seat ballpark is scheduled for Friday, April 28th, when the Bluefish play the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. The city of Bridgeport is issuing the RFP seeking proposals for a professional sports team operation or an outdoor entertainment venue, with the possibility of retrofitting the existing facility at the site, according to that notice. The notice goes on to say that the operation should take full advantage of the site and supplement the growth of downtown, the South End, and the waterfront with frequent events that have a regional appeal. And in other news, a 16-year-old Darien resident was referred to juvenile court for permitting minors to have alcohol during a February 20th party. Darien police received an anonymous tip about the party via their online tip service and responded to Richmond Drive home around 10:30 at night. A group of youths in the front of the property fled upon seeing police, and officers observed several empty beer cases, cans, and plastic cups inside the house. The party's host answered the door and admitted to drinking at the scene. He told police he did not purchase or provide the alcohol, but others had brought it with them. Inside, the officers found more evidence of the party along with more underage drinkers. Their parents were notified and they were released. And in Reading, 2 horses in extremely poor health were abandoned at a barn on Sherman Turnpike back in December 2016, and a resident's asking for help to take care of them. Danielle Sear, the renter of the barn, was expecting the horses to arrive with a clean bill of health from Louisiana. She was accepting the horses in her barn under the assumption that the person who had brought them would help offset some of the financial obligations. Unfortunately, those horses arrived sickly and in need of medical attention, and the owner was nowhere to be found. One of those horses, named Sterling, had to be put down after falling just a few days after arriving at the barn. The other horse, Chance, arrived with a lump in his eye cancer. Sear immediately took responsibility for Chance and has been covering the cost of his care and medical expenses. However, she set up a GoFundMe page seeking help for that, and you can get more information at thereadingpilot.com. Let's switch gears now and throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. It's kind of interesting out there today, Frank.
Well, we just had some pouring rain that's passed through. We saw it was very foggy this morning around the county. There are chances for passing showers and thunderstorms before noon. A high of 62 this afternoon with on and off periods of rain through a cloudy day here in the county. Scattered thunderstorms this evening and overnight with temperatures falling down into the low 40s before a breezy Thursday tomorrow. It will be a little bit cooler tomorrow with partly sunny skies and temperatures in the mid-40s. Steady breezes between 20 to 25 miles per hour. Gusts could reach as high as 40 at points in time. We'll see clear skies overnight and colder with a low of 22 heading to Friday, and it will be cold and cloudy out on Friday, an expected high of only 36 that afternoon. Windy, gusts again between 25 to 30 miles per hour, and there's a chance for scattered snow showers during the day. We'll see clear skies through the evening and overnight, an expected low of 17 as we get ready for what will be a brisk and cold weekend after we've enjoyed some temperatures now in the 60s for the past few days, taking a turn for the worse here as we head into March.
All right, well, it is March, so you never know what's going to happen. Thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, Donald Dang takes a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and we have more local news coming up after this.
We told Dad he could have his office back if he sold 150 cars last month.
Deal's a deal.
Well, Dad, you did it. You get your office back.
Forget it. I'm having too much fun down here. My new goal, 160 cars. Wow. Folks, if you ever wanted a great price on a new Nissan, now is the time.
Right now, lease a 2017 Altima 2.5S for only $99 a month.
Isn't it time you got Millerized?
It's all about meeting goals this year, and Trinity CrossFit of Ridgefield has experienced trainers, top-of-the-line equipment, and a newly renovated space to help get you there. Offering more classes per day than any other CrossFit gyms in the area, we cater to all fitness levels. Our coaches have a combined 10 years of experience in CrossFit, and as competitors themselves, Trinity coaches can get you ready for competition in 2017. Visit our convenient location on Route 7, Danbury Road, or find out more at trinitycrossfit.com.
Whether you're looking for the freshest seafood, the perfect steak, or want to share delicious appetizers, look no further than the Stone's Throw in Seymour. Chef Peter Hom has more than 30 years of experience creating original recipes in his American eclectic style. Our dishes are made from scratch with fresh, local ingredients that pair perfectly with a seasonal craft beer, a signature cocktail, or your favorite wine. When you visit our Riverside location, you'll feel like you're on vacation when you're only a stone's throw from home. Visit us on Roosevelt Drive in Seymour or at stonesthrowct.com. At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our Mortgage Web Center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier network, and we've also reached more than 2 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network. If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier network, and we've also reached more than 2 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to this March 1st edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski. Time to throw it over to Donald Lang to take a look back on this day in history. Don.
Well, Kate, we're going to start in 1692, where Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, and a woman known only as Tituba are brought before local magistrates in Salem, Massachusetts, the beginning of what would become the Salem witch trials. Now, all three were social outcasts. Good was known to be foul-tempered and frequently muttered under her breath around other village women. Osborne had stopped going to church. Tituba was a slave, possibly of Central American origin, who eventually confessed, and her description of the trio's witchcraft practices so closely matched the oral tradition of demonology, the elders decided she must be telling the truth. She actually was imprisoned, the other two hanged. 1867, Nebraska becomes the 37th U.S. state. Lancaster, Nebraska, population 400, is renamed Lincoln after the recently assassinated president and becomes the state capital. Lincoln currently has a population of about 270,000, but here's a fun fact. Although Lincoln is the state capital, it is also the county seat of Lancaster County. Lincoln County, Nebraska, is about 200 miles away. The county seat of Lincoln County is North Platte. To 1954, the Castle Bravo 15-megaton hydrogen bomb detonated on Bikini Atoll in the Pacific, resulting in the worst radioactive contamination ever caused by the U.S. A Japanese fishing crew and about 300 inhabitants of the nearby Rongelap Atoll were irradiated. One fisherman and a number of natives would die of radiation sickness. Amazingly, the Rongelap inhabitants were not evacuated for 3 full days and then returned to their atoll 2 years later, at which point they all got sick again, but they had to remain there until the 1980s when Greenpeace finally removed them. The U.S. government eventually settled with the survivors for $45 million. Finally, now, speaking of native populations, we go to 1961 for this.
It will not be easy. None of the men and women will be paid a salary. They will live at the same level as the citizens of the country which they're sent to, doing the same work, eating the same food, speaking the same language. We're going to put particular emphasis on those men and women who have skills in teaching, agriculture, and in health. I'm hopeful that it will be a source of satisfaction to Americans and a contribution to world peace.
That was President John F. Kennedy announcing the establishment of the Peace Corps. From 1961 to now, nearly 230,000 Americans have served in the Peace Corps and served in 141 different countries. That is your look back in history for today, March 1st, and I'm Donald Ng.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, after years of debate, Darien has offered its full approval for permanent field lights to be installed at Darien High School. The RTM voted 68-1 to accept a gift of over $660,000 from the Darien Athletic Foundation for the installation of the lights and a new public address system at the stadium. A site plan detailing the installation of 4 80-foot lighting poles and several new speakers was approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission in mid-January. The lighting fixtures will be provided by Musco Sports Lighting and are designed to reduce spillage in the areas surrounding the field. The new speakers will be positioned around the field as opposed to a centralized system that's currently in use. By spreading the range, they say the speakers will be able to distribute better quality sound throughout the stadium at an overall lower volume. Now, based on the agreement between the Board of Education and neighbors of the high school, team practices and youth groups will be able to use the lights on weekdays until 7:30 p.m. Night games would be restricted to Friday with the exception of FCAC playoff and championship games and will only feature Darien varsity teams. Those games would be allowed to continue until 10 p.m. You can get a lot more information on that story at DarienTimes.com, but let's throw it over to Frank Granito now for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
What an exciting night we had, Kate, at Fairfield Ward last night. The boys basketball semifinals. Richfield and Danbury starting the night off, and what was a slow and sloppy game riddled with turnovers for the first few quarters finally picked up the pace. The Tigers came away 67-63 in double overtime as your winners. Zach Essenplayer hitting a game-tying 3 at the buzzer in regulation, and then a huge layup in the lane with 2 seconds to go in overtime to extend the match twice. Brendan McNamara would finish with 21 points, Essenplayer 16. Chris Torres had 25, Marcus Fox with 16 for the Hatters as Ridgefield advanced to their first ever conference championship. Let's look at the highlights from that win.
All season long.
Newborn inside looking for help. McNamara's going to spot up a 3.
Oh.
Denali Burton sent it to the 7th row.
Oh, he gave McNamara a little stare after that. Listen, Frank.
And now it's with Torres. Torres with 4. All the way to the rack, and McNamara blocked it. Got his own rebound. Gets it to go at the buzzer. 15 points in the second quarter for Chris Torres on the Snow 3-point attempt. McNamara running the floor. Open look for 3 on the way. Good.
What a big 3 there. About the way this game's going, it's almost like a 2-point game. No team is giving that 3-point play.
As here's Vines up ahead. McNamara said it.
Oh! Half court. Let's see what they drop.
St. Pierre flashes left. Essenplayer over to the right now. Pulls up. 3-pointer on the way. It's good!
Oh! McNamara!
We're heading to overtime.
Set the pick for Essenplayer to get the bucket. What a big 3-pointer there by Essenplayer.
And we're tied at 48. We're going to play overtime. Off the screen of McNamara. Up to the rack. Off glass. Good. No timeouts left. Here's Hernandez. He's going to gain half court and throw up a prayer. And it's short. Let's play another one. Torres, he's been the game's best player as he goes to the lane. Right hand is blocked by McNamara. McGarrity's got it. Back to Essenplayer, and he is fouled with 5 seconds remaining. 4th block of the night for McNamara. None bigger than that. Corner, Jordan Brown for 3. No good. The Richfield Tigers are going to the FCAC championship.
What a game.
So congratulations again to Ridgefield. They awaited the winner of game number 2 featuring the top-seeded Trumbull Eagles and the number 5 Wilton Warriors in what was a much faster-paced game. Physical, too, as the Eagles and Warriors battling it out. It was Wilton who came away the 72-66 winner. No overtime required in the second game. Drew Conley had 19 points for the Warriors. Jack Williams 18, Matt Cronenberg 10. J.J. Foll led all scorers with 20 points in the game. Johnny McElroy, huge second half, 15, and John Lynch 13. But it wasn't enough for the Trumbull Eagles as the top seed falls to number 5. Here, look at the highlights from that second game last night.
Thought about the shot, but has to retreat. Finds Lynch, who wants to feel a 3, and he gets it to go down.
Big 3 there.
Rebounds in that quarterfinal matchup as Wood kicks to the corner. Open look for three on the way, and it's knocked down. Williams steps into a three on the way, and it's good. 11 points already for the senior in the lead, back to 10. Timon Williams spots up a three, no good. The rebound poked aside by Full. Down low, Rutowski, the putback, no good. Williams a tip once, twice, and he gets it to go. As he goes to the baseline, what a look to Conley. Three-pointer again, yes!
Oh, baby! Drew Connolly!
As John Lynch's shot at the buzzer comes up short, and for the first time ever, the Wilton Warriors are going to the FCX Championship. Their rivals, the Ridgefield Tigers, await.
So congratulations to the Wilton Warriors. It is their first ever championship appearance as well. We've just received word from the commissioner of the FCX, Kate. The game has been moved from Fairfield Ward to Fairfield University tomorrow, being played at Alumni Hall. Tip-off still set for 7 p.m. It'll be $5 for students, $8 for adults. That should be a lot of fun at Alumni Hall tomorrow night. We've got the boys hockey semifinals on the HAN network tonight, 6 o'clock between Ridgefield and Stanford West Hill, 8 o'clock for New Canaan and Greenwich. And we'll have plenty of that on Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock.
That's going to be a big crowd at that Wilton-Ridgefield game.
It should be a lot of fun. The Wilton student section has been very impressive, to say the least, these first few games, and Ridgefield turned up as well last night. And it was a lot of fun the first time they played this year.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, in other local news, New Canaan's two-way public safety radio service was operating in subpar capacity last week when the signals from the primary antennas on the Waveney Park water tower had so much static interference that the system switched over to the backup antenna on the police headquarters building. That system serves the New Canaan Police, Fire, EMS, and Public Works. New Canaan Volunteer Ambulance Corps Captain Wendy Fogg said that the system was on the backup for about a week and came back on the primary equipment around February 24th. Now, when the system runs on the backup system, the signals are not as robust, according to Stuart Sawabini, meaning that it's more likely that an emergency responder's radio would not reach dispatch or headquarters. Also, when operating on the backup, the system is just one technical failure away from the entire system going down. You can get more on that story at ncadvertiser.com. And State Senator Tony Boucher confirmed her exploration February 23rd of a new exploratory committee for the governor's seat. Boucher currently represents Bethel, New Canaan, Reading, Ridgefield, Westport, Weston, and Wilton. She told the Wilton Bulletin that, like many other good people are doing, I am exploring and exploratory due to increasing pressure from many different fronts and people. She said she has not filed her intentions. Boucher spent 7 months exploring a run for governor back in 2013 and 2014. She ultimately did not run. She continued for a fourth term in the state Senate. She went on to say exploring a run for governor has been an extraordinary journey. She said that at the time. Last time around, she said she was moved by the outpouring of support from across the 26th district. More on that story at wiltonbulletin.com. And in other campaign news, Trumbull Republican Paul Lavoie, who currently serves on the Trumbull Board of Education and is a former Board of Finance member, has announced his intention to run for town-wide office this year, possibly first selectman. On Tuesday, Lavoie announced the formation of Lavoie for Trumbull, an exploratory committee for a town-wide office in 2017 that specifically included the office of the first selectman. Now, Republican First Selectman Tim Herbst has announced an exploratory committee for governor. Lavoie, who is also a former chairman of the Trumbull Republican Party, declared himself ready to take over leadership of the town should Herbst decide not to run again. And this morning, Catholic commuters in a rush could observe Ash Wednesday thanks to Ashes on the Go. Check out this video this morning at the Norotan train station from Kristen Riolo. St. Luke's Parish in Darien went to both train stations this morning for their Ashes on the Go. Ash Wednesday opens Lent, a season of fasting and prayer leading up to Easter Sunday for Catholics and other Christians. Ash Wednesday comes from the ancient Jewish tradition of penance and fasting. The practice includes the wearing of ashes on the head, symbolizing the dust from which Christians believe God made man. Well, we're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following on your coffee break after this.
On time, done right, safe and Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
While there's still a bite out on the water, most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Recently renovated and home to one of Connecticut's largest indoor turf fields, InSports is a multi-sport recreation center providing state-of-the-art facilities for league play, camps, and youth programs. Sign your child up now for InSports Future Stars Basketball Academy, teaching skills on the basketball court for boys and girls ages 5 through 9. Visit InSportsCenters.com for more information on this 7-week program. And for adults, spots are also still available for our men's 30 and over and 40 and over leagues. Like and follow us on Facebook.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands at the President's Day event and Ram Truck Month, now through February 28th.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ing for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to this Wednesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. Dramatic dash cam footage has been released of a state trooper stopping a suicidal man, from jumping off the Q Bridge in New Haven last Thursday evening. This happened around 5:30 when troopers from Troop G in Bridgeport responded to I-95 southbound in New Haven for a male threatening to jump. Troopers arrived on scene and found the man on the opposite side of a safety wall and barrier. Troopers tried to talk him to safety, however he refused and moved closer to the edge of the bridge. As you see in the video, Trooper First Class Aaron Matthew ran towards the man, jumped over the wall and grabbed him, preventing him from jumping off of the bridge. The trooper held him against the bridge with no barrier between him and the edge, so other troopers as well as New Haven police officers and firefighters could pull the man over the wall to safety. Now, state police urge anyone experiencing suicidal thoughts to call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That's 1-800-273-TALK. It provides 24/7 toll-free hotline available to anyone in suicidal crisis or emotional distress. And you can get more details at the Connecticut State Police Facebook page. And Hearst, Connecticut media reports a former gymnastics coach has been charged with smuggling narcotics into the Bridgeport Correctional Center. Police say Greer Lynn Mann pasted strips of Suboxone, a powerful opioid, under the stamps she put on envelopes she mailed to an inmate serving time with her boyfriend at the prison. 36-year-old man of Ellsworth Street in Bridgeport was charged with unauthorized delivery of contraband to an inmate. Man has worked as a gymnastics coach for children in the area. State police said they were recently notified by officers at the Bridgeport prison that 2 inmates, Shane Krall and Justin Sparkman, had been receiving Suboxone through the mail. Officers say they intercepted a letter addressed to Krall from Man, who is Sparkman's girlfriend. Underneath the stamps on the envelope, they found 2 Suboxone strips. And in other news, a close encounter between a coyote and a dog in New Canaan on Tuesday has led the chief of police to warn residents that all dogs should be supervised at all times and any food sources, such as bird feeders and pet food, be contained and controlled. According to Police Chief Leon Krolikowski, the encounter between the coyote and the medium-sized dog occurred at about 6:45 in the morning on Autumn Lane, which is in a relatively dense residential area. The owner was with the dog and successfully frightened away the coyote. Krolikowski said that coyotes are active in the area and they're not nocturnal. In Weston just last week, a dog was attacked and injured by a coyote. For more information on coyote hazing, you can contact New Canaan Animal Control at 203-594-3510. And a legal notice is putting the future of the Bridgeport's Ballpark at Harbor Yard in question. Hearst Connecticut Media reports that a legal notice in the Connecticut Post reads, "Wanted proposals for professional sports team operator or an outdoor entertainment venue for the Ballpark at Harbor Yard." The party that is awarded the contract must begin operations by July 2018. The notice comes after the City Council approved a 1-year contract extension for the Bridgeport Bluefish to allow the baseball team to play its 20th season in the Park City Ballpark. The first home game in Bridgeport in the 5,300-seat ballpark is scheduled for Friday, April 28th, when the Bluefish play the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. The City of Bridgeport is issuing the RFP seeking proposals for a professional sports team operation or an outdoor entertainment venue with the possibility of retrofitting the existing facility for the site. The operation, according to the notice, should take full advantage of the site and supplement the growth of downtown, the South End, and the waterfront with frequent events that have a regional appeal. Well, let's throw it over to Frank Granito for one final look at the forecast. Frank.
And since that last forecast, Kate, it has started raining again, as we're going to see on and off rain throughout the afternoon. There's a chance for passing thunderstorms as well. A high of 62 today before scattered thunderstorms this evening and overnight, with temperatures falling down into the low 40s. Tomorrow will be a bit cooler in Fairfield County, partly sunny skies and temperatures in the mid 40s. Windy with steady breezes around 20 miles per hour and gusts reaching upwards of 35 to 40. Clear skies overnight and colder heading into Friday with a low of 22. Cold and cloudy to round out the work week with an expected high of only 36. Wind gusts between 20 to 5 miles per hour. And there is a chance for scattered snow showers during the day on Friday, but we'll see clear skies through the evening and overnight with a low of 17 degrees as we get ready for a brisk and cold weekend here in Fairfield County. And Kevin Coleman just walked in wearing his youth Ridgefield Tigers soccer jacket. You've got to be kidding me.
More about that later.
You have got to be kidding me.
More about that on Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. And Frank, just once again, another doubleheader tonight.
That is right. We have got the boys hockey semifinals. 6 o'clock, it will be Stanford West Hill and number 1 Ridgefield. At 8 o'clock, you'll see Greenwich and number 2 New Canaan. Right. Kevin Coleman will join me on Nutmeg Sports to talk more about that.
All right. Thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break, but we'll see you tomorrow with the latest local news, sports, and more at 11. Have a great day.